You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you, and you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are operators standing by.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan, a plan to save you money, I personally work with you, even if you don't have any needs today. Save this number in your phone for future reference. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, of course, we are celebrating today. No, I'm not going to get into this craziness with the total eclipse. I've watched all kinds of news broadcasts every morning and read all kinds of news stories, periodicals, internet. Sometimes it's even accurate. And you can't turn anything on without dealing with the eclipse. So the only thing I'm going to say about the eclipse is watch out for your pets. I understand that there's some nervousness that you get with your pets. I've got a little Aussie doodle. She's a little tiny tyke. And I think I'm going to have her inside with me during the eclipse. So I don't know. They get this sense. So I'm sure she'll know there's an eclipse, but won't be outside for it. And we'll keep her in an area that's nice and safe. Make sure you watch out for your pets. Just throw that out there. Zoo Lovers Day is today. Okay.
It is what it is.
All is Ours Day. Okay. And having beaten anorexia, I love empanadas. Are you an empanada person? Do you like them? I like them. And it fascinates me how they identify them. Now, I've got a problem with gout. I don't listen to the doctors as much as I should, so I pay a price. But I like it where they have the little stamp on the empanada that tells you what's in it. Does everybody have that? Do they all do the same thing where they're stamped? So when you get home, you buy some beef empanadas and you buy some chicken empanadas and they put a little stamp in the crow's eyes area. And it says, this is a number one, which they put number one as a chicken or whatever it is. So everybody, Josh, yours do that same thing? Okay. So I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. I just eat them. And there's one place by us not far. It's on my way home from the office, from the studio. Like the empanadas. Let's take a look and see what the markets are doing today. After an ugly day on Friday, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is down 17 points. The S&P 500 is down just under 2. NASDAQ is up 2. Oil up $1.27 a barrel.
Ow!
And I looked. Gas here, California, regular unleaded gasoline, $5.35 a gallon.
Ow!
That's painful. You're not even keeping pace with us, Josh. Here, you guys are getting away a little bit better. Arian's $3.10. Okay. We gotta, can we go to Hawaii and get $4.72 in Hawaii? So it's almost cheaper to go to Hawaii to get gas than it is to go to Nevada. Figure that one out. I'm not sure we want to, but it is what it is. We're watching these markets at $85 a barrel, and that's down $1.31 today. We know a lot of that comes from unrest in the Middle East. Does anybody really believe there's going to be a ceasefire in Israel? I know that the Israelis say they're moving some of their troops back into Israel out of Gaza, but they haven't finished the job yet. They've said they're going to finish the job out there. I got to believe what they say. Just throw that out there for you. I have a lot more faith in believing what Israel has to say. Then once again on Friday, we got another BS report from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Yes, they came in and said that we created 303,000 jobs. The economists were all expecting 200,000 job creation. Missed by 50%. Do you really believe that? I love watching, or I subscribed to a lady, Danielle DiMartino Booth, the QI report. And she used to work for the Federal Reserve for about 9 years. And I love looking at her material because she is an economist. She is a statistician. She said the statistical likelihood of having 3 labor reports misses as much as they've missed, the expectations versus legitimate, the likelihood of that happening is statistically impossible. Yet it happened. Wonder how that could be. Maybe it's because there's some fudging going on with the numbers. Maybe the numbers don't mean exactly what they say. And I understand the way the reports work. New job creations, that means 1 hour of work for pay. So if it takes 3 jobs in order to be able to support yourself, and you just got 2 new ones last month, you may account for 2 of that 303,000 new jobs. Because we are seeing that full-time jobs are declining and part-time jobs are increasing. Multiple jobs per household or per worker is increasing. Not the numbers we really want to see, because over time those numbers eventually are going to come out. Now, if you're listening to a lot of the reports and you're trying to time the market on buying a house, getting a mortgage, I'm going to suggest to you that I've said this right along. We're looking at the rate cuts. Again, I concur with what Danielle DiMartino is saying. July, November, December. Why? There's a few things again there, because no matter what Jerome Powell says, and he says they're not getting political in any of this. If you want to believe that, I've got a bridge for you in Baltimore. Because why did they move the date of the November meeting? Yeah, they pushed it back a day where they normally are Tuesday and Wednesday. The November meeting falls on the Tuesday election day. So they've pushed that back to Wednesday. Think that could be because they don't want to have a rate cut influencing what's going on in the elections. Now, we're going to get a report on Wednesday this week, I believe it is. Wednesday this week, I think we're going to get the PCE report, personal consumption expenditures. This is the Federal Reserve's favorite measure of inflation. Well, when that report comes out, it's not going to be pretty. Just my forecasting. It's not going to be pretty. So the Federal Reserve is going to come out and have the ability of saying, well, we don't need to cut anymore. We don't need to cut right away. Okay, well, the markets don't like that idea. They're now showing less than a 50% chance of a rate cut in June, which we've been telling you that right along. Might be part of the reason that the stock market took such a dive last Thursday and Friday. But we're going to keep watching it. I'll have more in the Mortgage Minute in just a bit. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, don't let your student loans delay your home ownership plans. How to fix your credit score in 5 steps. What is a tax refund offset? 5 reasons the IRS can seize your refund. All that and more. Reach me anytime. Off air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Homeowners over the age of 62 are taking back financial control after retirement with reverse mortgages, and the Siegel Lending Team is here to help you use it to your advantage. Call Ron Siegel with Geneva Financial to receive your free information booklet with no obligation. The booklet answers all your questions, and the best part is, you still own your home. Call Ron Siegel at 1-800-306-1990 or visit ronsiegelradio.com.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you could retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less? All without having to spend more each month than you spend right now. Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis. rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
Are you paying rent because you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at ronismylender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. ronismylender.com.
Hey there, friends. Wondering if now is the right time to buy a home? Or are you waiting for a bunch of foreclosures? The facts speak loud and clear. Defaults and foreclosures are down. Sure, we might be headed towards a recession. But did you know interest rates typically drop and real estate values often go up during a recession? So what are you waiting for? Higher prices or higher payments? Don't navigate these waters alone. Connect with RonSiegelRadio.com today. That's RonSiegelRadio.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Let's see what we've got going on today. Every day at this time, OBM&I, they provide the most comprehensive, accurate, timely, and interactive analysis of pricing ever conducted in the mortgage industry, calculated from actual locked rates with consumers across 35% of all mortgage transactions nationwide. Let's see what we've got going today. The conforming 30-year rate, 6.888. That was these are all Friday's numbers. That was up. The jumbos, 7.162. That was up. 30-year FHA, 6.671. That was up. USDA, 6.558. That's the rural areas. Generally, no down payment. That one was down a little bit. And the best loan on the market for those that earned it, that would be the VA loan. That one was up 6.474. If you want to get our market thoughts on at any time, yes, we do have our market. We do get our put out our market thoughts as early as the market will allow. And that you get that rsrmarketminute.com, rsrmarketminute.com. Let's see what's going on right now in the markets. The S&P 500 down almost 5 points. I just got off the right screen here, so now I've got to wait for it. Okay, we've got the 10-year Treasury up 4 basis points. Going a little bit let's get technical here. Going just a little bit. So technically speaking, the market, we've got a level of resistance at 4.418 on the 10-year Treasury. We're right now at 4.433 or 4.434. Being above that is not good news. So we're watching that very, very closely. Why are we watching that one? Because when that breaks over that level of resistance, now it could go up as much to 4.5 or 4.54. We're not watching that. Mortgage-backed securities are down 17 basis points, which means that interest is up. The mortgage-backed rates are up. Why? Well, let's take a look. We're going to get the PCE report coming out on Wednesday. CPI repeat. Easy for me to say. CPI is coming out on Wednesday. Headliner all-in inflation reading is expected to come in at 0.3%, and the 2023 reading that will be falling off is a very low 0.8% or 0.08. So the issue right there is when you replace a 0.08 with a 0.3, well, that's increasing our levels of inflation from the year-over-year numbers. So we got to be real careful of that because that's not going to be good news. I'm going to share with you right now my personal opinion, and it should be yours too, is that we're not going to get a rate reduction, a Fed funds rate cut because of inflation. That's not going to drive the issue. What's going to drive the issue is going to be when we start seeing that the employment numbers are heading south. So I'm just going to throw that out there for you. It's not going to be driven by anything other than the employment numbers. That's just my opinion. And again, I think that you'll find that that's really where we're going to be looking at, is that it's going to drive from employment. When the employment numbers start, being legitimate, which I don't think they've been legitimate in quite a while. When we start getting legitimate employment numbers, that's when we're going to start seeing it. Maybe it'll be at the end of the year, which will not be good because that will be something that's dealing with the elections. So, and I don't like the manipulation of the elections either way, but it will have a bearing on the elections when we start seeing that the employment numbers, which have been bad right along since October of last year and have not been reported, well, that's going to be the issue. We're going to watch that for you. We're going to also get the Small Business Optimism Index. That's going to come out. We'll get initial jobless claims. We'll get the Michigan Sentiment Report. That's coming out. So we have a lot of data coming out that we're going to be watching. And just want to throw that out there for you. That's the Mortgage Minute brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call. 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990. We haven't done this in a while. Let's get a Mortgage 101 from you. Again, brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990. Right now, you've heard us talking on the broadcast a lot about the issues of home insurance and how difficult it is right now to get home insurance. We've had, if you remember, Taylor Wilson was on the broadcast last week, I think it was, and we were talking about how challenging this is, how challenging of a market it is right now in getting home insurance. But one thing that we never really talk about is, what does that home insurance cover? And how much are you going to pay? So we're going to go and give this information to you right now. When you buy a home, spend thousands of dollars on your down payment, a monthly mortgage payment, it makes sense to want to protect that investment. Homeowners insurance, while not required by law, is typically a mandatory requirement by your mortgage lender and highly recommended by financial experts. So the issue is, you don't necessarily have to have it. If you're paying cash for your house, You don't have to have mortgage. You don't have to have homeowners insurance. Might not be a good idea, but you don't have to. What is homeowners insurance? Reimburses you for damage to your property caused by a covered peril. Peril is a issue or something that comes up. While there are variations in policies, most homeowners insurance covers the structure of your home and your possessions when damage occurs from something destructive, fire, tornado, theft, and the big one, that would be water damage. So you've got to always watch out for that one. Homeowners insurance protects you, both you and your lender, when your mortgage company provides the financing for your home purchase. The home and the land it's on are the collateral for your loan. If your home is damaged or destroyed, the lender won't be able to sell it as is to pay off the mortgage. Homeowners insurance, also called hazard insurance, pays to repair or rebuild your home. What does it cover? Most standard homeowners insurance policies cover the structure of your home and any structures on your property, such as detached garage and your belongings. Homeowners insurance also provides liability protection and pays for extra living expenses while your home is being repaired or rebuilt. Reimbursement for structural damage or your possessions depends on whether the damage is caused by a covered peril or event that is listed in your policy, such as fire, hurricane, lightning, hail, or theft. You typically can't be reimbursed for damage caused by routine wear and tear, lack of maintenance, or an event that's not listed in your standard policy, such as flood or earthquake. Your possessions are covered even if they're stored off-site or stolen when you're away from home. Liability protection covers you for court costs and damages up to the limit stated in your policy for an injury to someone else or damage to their property caused by you, your family members, or your pets. It also includes medical coverage for someone outside your family if they're injured on your property. The living expenses portion of your policy, which covers costs if you can't live in your home while it's being repaired, also has limits up to certain amounts of time. What does not a homeowner's insurance policy cover? Since homeowners insurance policies vary, it's important to read your contract, also known as the policy, so you know what it covers and what it doesn't. Generally, a standard homeowners insurance policy does not cover damage due to flood or an earthquake. There are separate insurance policies you can buy to cover those issues if you live in an area prone to them. Damage to structural items such as roof or fence may not be covered under your homeowner's insurance policy if the damage occurs because of lack of maintenance or wear and tear. Wind is something that may be covered. If you have a windstorm and you have damage to your roof, sometimes that is covered. Your homeowner's insurance policy also has limits on your coverage, which means some expensive items in your home may not be covered. For example, if you have costly jewelry, art, or silver, you may need to purchase additional coverage called a rider or an endorsement for those items. How much homeowner's insurance do you need? Talk to your insurance agent to help you estimate how much homeowner's insurance you should purchase. Generally, you want to buy enough homeowner's insurance to rebuild your home if it's a total loss, but you don't need to insure the land under your house. If you're buying a home, you'll need the home's appraised value. Homeowners may want to evaluate their insurance coverage annually to make sure the insurance level is up to date with your home value, especially if you've made improvements. To estimate how much coverage to buy for your personal possessions, do a home inventory. Typically, policies cover the personal belongings for approximately 50 to 70% of the amount of your structural coverage. In other words, if your home structure is insured for $400,000, your personal possessions coverage would be between $200,000 and $280,000. You may want to look at costly items such as jewelry and electronics to estimate their value and determine whether you need special coverage for them. Liability coverage typically starts at $100,000, but if you have more assets, you may want to increase that coverage to a higher level with your regular policy or an additional umbrella insurance policy. The difference between cash value and replacement cost coverage. When estimating your homeowner's insurance coverage, you should consider the difference between cash value and replacement cost coverage. Actually, actual cash value coverage pays you the original value of your damaged items minus any lost value due to depreciation, while replacement coverage pays the cost to repair or replace items according to their current market value. Most home structures have replacement cost coverage, while personal belongings may have cash value coverage. You can pay 5 to 25% more in premiums for extended replacement cost or guaranteed replacement cost for your home structure. According to the Insurance Information Institute, replacement cost coverage for your personal possessions costs about 10% more than the cash value. I'm going to suggest here, and most places do not tell you this, but I am going to say this part of it for you, is be careful when you're with your insurance. Insurance companies are in the business of making money. That's what their business is. So I'm just going to throw this at you, is yeah, they're paying you, but they don't want to pay you. What they want to do is they're looking to get off as cheap as they can. So with that said, my recommendation to you is go through your house, every 6 months or so, and make sure you do a video of your entire house. When you do that video, that's when you're going to be able to go through and make sure you store that. You do it on your phone and store it in the cloud. Don't store it in the house. You store that in the cloud, and that way if you do have an issue, you don't have to really worry quite as much. Just throw that out there for you. How does homeowners insurance work? When you buy a home or want to take changes in the policy, get quotes. Contact several insurance companies. Give us a call at 800-306-1990. We're happy to put you in touch with people that we believe are very, very qualified, competent people. Read the reviews. Such companies such as J.D. Power, AM Best survey consumers about their experiences with various insurance companies. Ask each homeowner's insurance provider about available discounts, such as the alarm system or the water system that Taylor spoke to us about last week. Insurance companies typically bill quarterly, semi-annually, or annually. Many mortgage lenders require homeowners insurance to be paid through an escrow account, which means you'll pay it as part of your monthly premium. How much does it cost? They varies widely, but the average cost in the United States, about $2,600 annually for $300,000 in dwelling coverage and liability with a $1,000 deductible. Go ahead and look at getting higher deductibles. One thing that I've talked about many, many times on Ron Siegel Radio was the concept of getting the higher deductible and putting the difference in your premium, put that into a Roth IRA. I like the Roth IRA because then you can take your money out. If you ever need it, you take the money out that you've been saving, and it comes out with no tax liability, but the growth is where your benefit is. So I want to just throw that out there to you. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, if I can find it on my board here as to what we're going to cover, don't let your student loans delay your home ownership, how to fix your credit score in 5 steps, all that and more. Reach me anytime. Off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you can retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis, rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
Hey there, friends. Wondering if now is the right time to buy a home? Or are you waiting for a bunch of foreclosures? The facts speak loud and clear. Defaults and foreclosures are down. Sure, we might be headed towards a recession. But did you know interest rates typically drop and real estate values often go up during a recession? So what are you waiting for? Higher prices or higher payments? Don't navigate these waters alone. Connect with RonSiegelRadio.com today. That's RonSiegelRadio.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, the real-time real estate segment today. Being brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. Don't let your student loans delay your home ownership plans. If you have student loans and want to buy a home, you might have questions about how your debt affects your plans. Do you have to wait until you've paid off those loans before you can buy your first home? Or is it possible you can still qualify for a home loan even with that debt? Here's a look at the latest information so you have the answers you need. Bankrate article explains, quote, roughly 60% of U.S. adults who have held student loan debt have put off making important financial decisions due to that debt. For Gen Z and millennial borrowers alone, that number rises to 70%, unquote. This includes one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make, buying a home. But you should know, even with student loans, waiting to buy a home may not be necessary. While everyone's situation is unique, your goal may be more within your reach than you realize. Here's why. Can you qualify for a home loan if you have student loans? According to an annual report from the National Association of Realtors, NAR, 38% of first-time buyers had student loan debt, and the typical amount was $30,000. That means other people in a similar situation were able to qualify for and buy a home, even though they had also had student loans. And you may be able to do the same, especially if you have a steady source of income. As an article from Bankrate says, quote, you can have student loans and a mortgage at the same time. If you have student loans and want a mortgage, there are multiple home loan programs you might qualify for. The key takeaway is, for many people, home ownership is achievable even with student loans. You'll have to figure this out on your own. The best way to make a decision about your goals and next steps is to talk to the professionals. A trusted lender can walk you through your options based on your situation and share what's worked for other buyers. Bottom line, lots of people with student loan debt are able to buy their own homes. Give me a call at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. That is the real-time real estate segment brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. You know, be careful. Every other day we hear the administration is saying, well, they're going to have a program to eliminate student loans. And then the Republicans go and file a lawsuit, and the Supreme Court says, no, the president doesn't have the authority to do it. And I'm not getting into the political side of this. What I am getting into is the fact that how many people are delaying now 1, 2, 3, now the 4th year of buying a house because of the hope and prayer The administration is going to be able to pay you off to buy your vote. And that's all it is, right? You took out the loan. You know you owe it. There are many, many programs that we've talked to you about that are already in place to help for hardship. rsrstudentloanhelp.com, rsrstudentloanhelp.com. There's all kinds of programs out there to help you if you've got that hardship. If you don't have the hardship, well, now you're not making smart financial decisions because you're not buying a house because you're waiting and we're looking at the student loans and saying, oh, okay, instead of me calling and getting an income-based payment, which anybody can do, go and get an income-based payment. And that might be, especially if it's your first year out of school, that payment is probably as low as it's going to ever be. Get that payment, get it on your credit report that way, because if you have a 0 on the credit report, unless it states that it's suspended for at least 3 years, then you're going to have to have an imputed payment. And I'm not going to get into all the details of what those imputed payments are, but they're assumed. If the payment that's on your credit report says you have $200,000 in student loan debt and you're paying $10 a month, well, then the underwriters use $10 a month. You can then get out and buy a house and get your life on track. After all, isn't that what you went to school for in the first place, is to get on track? Just throw that out there for you. That student loan issue is a big, big issue. And when you hear the news, they say, well, the president's going to try again. Well, I guess what's he trying again? To find out if this time he's not breaking the law according to the Supreme Court? Just throw that out there for you to consider. Let's get to a Borrow Smart segment brought to you by rsrdebtfree.com, rsrdebtfree.com. If you can't make all your payments within the next 2 to 3 months, go to rsrdebtfree.com. Consider a debt consolidation loan, debt settlement. Now, this does not include government loans. They can deal with almost anything, but not government loans. It's all unsecured debt, and the government loans are a different issue. We're going to talk a little bit about the government issue in the coming segments. But Borrow Smart. Let's talk about what is a tax refund offset. You're probably not going to be dealing too much with tax refund offsets right now because, again, the administration just wants to pay you off for everything. So let's take a look at what this one is. When you have delinquent taxes or certain other types of debt and you're owed a tax refund, you may find that the government has taken some or all of your tax refund. The Treasury Offset Program allows the Department of Treasury to withhold money from tax refunds and Social Security benefits to pay a debt. Sometimes this is referred to as an administrative offset or simply as an offset. It typically occurs when you owe money to federal or state agencies and have not made on-time payments. How the tax refund offset program works: if you're behind on payments to a state or federal agency, the agency will eventually send your name to the Treasury Offset Program, TOP. The Bureau of Fiscal Service, the agency responsible for issuing tax refunds from the Internal Revenue Service, is authorized by Congress to reduce your refund to help satisfy the debt. What happens when your refund is offset? When you file your tax refund, the Bureau of Fiscal Service, BFS, will search the top database to see if your taxpayer identification information shows you have outstanding debt. If there's no match, you'll receive your full income tax refund. But if the database reveals you owe money, some or all of your refund could be withheld. You'll receive a letter from the BFS that includes the amount of the original refund, how much was offset, the agency that will receive the payment, and the contact information for that agency. Offset versus garnishment versus seizure. A refund offset is one of several consequences that could result from delinquent payments to the government. Here are some of the ways the government can claw back its money. A refund offset: when you file your tax refund return with the Internal Revenue Service, the Department of Treasury's Bureau of Fiscal Services can reduce your tax refund by the amount you owe to satisfy that debt. A garnishment: the IRS can garnish your wages to satisfy a tax debt. This is also known as a wage levy. Seizure: The IRS can take the money in your bank account if you're subject to a tax levy. It can also seize and sell assets like real estate and vehicles through a tax levy or place a lien against your assets. 5 reasons the IRS could seize your refund. You owe federal or state taxes. You owe your state unemployment agency. You have delinquent student loans. You owe child support. Your spouse owes money. Your spouse owes money. If you're named and file a joint tax return, you could find that your tax refund was garnished due to debts your spouse owes. In this situation, you can apply for injured spouse relief through IRS to receive your portion of the refund, provided you weren't responsible for the debt. Can I still get my refund if I'm behind on student loans? Yeah, you can still get your refund, your 2023 tax refund if you're behind on payments for most student loans, though the 37-month COVID-19 payment pause ended October 1st, 2023. The U.S. Department of Education will delay tax refund offsets until September 2024. If you've defaulted on student loans, though, you'll need to enroll in the Fresh Start program before September 30th, 2024 to avoid future refund offsets. Borrowers who use the program to get out of default will have their loan status restored to in repayment status and will have the default removed from their credit reports. To apply, contact your student loan servicer. Who else can garnish a refund? Only the federal government can offset a tax refund, and will only do so if you owe state or federal government agency money. Private creditors, like credit card issuers or a bank that gave you a personal loan, cannot garnish a tax refund. Note that you won't have your tax refund seized for delinquent private student loans either. Even if a creditor can't garnish your tax refund, there are other serious consequences that can occur if you don't repay the debt, including negative information on your credit report. Creditors can also sue you for the money. A lot of information right there. So if you have questions, give me a call. 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990. That is the Borrow Smart segment brought to you by rsrdebtfree.com. rsrdebtfree.com. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, how to fix your credit score in 5 steps and more. Reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or ronsiegelradio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Homeowners over the age of 62 are taking back financial control after retirement with reverse mortgages, and the Siegel Lending Team is here to help you use it to your advantage. Call Ron Siegel with Geneva Financial to receive your free information booklet with no obligation. The booklet answers all your questions, and the best part is, you still own your home. Call Ron Siegel at 1-800-306-1990 or visit ronsiegelradio.com.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you could retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis, rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you paying rent because you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at ronismylender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. ronismylender.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Your Credit Matters segment today being brought to you by rsrdebtfree.com, rsrdebtfree.com. If you have more than 2 or 3 months worth of unsecured debts that you can't pay off, you can't pay them off in the next 2 to 3 months, it means you've gotten yourself in a hole. There might be solutions that are better for you than paying that 30% interest charge on the credit card or the balance transfer card. Let's take a look at a debt consolidation loan. Let's take a look at debt resolutions or debt settlement. All different options. The first step, though, rsrdebtfree.com, rsrdebtfree.com. How to fix your credit score in 5 steps. Let's see where we are here. There are a lot of ways of dealing with your credit. You can have significant credit, has a significant impact on your life. You can determine whether you can buy a home, get an auto loan, get an apartment. Some cases, some states, it even deals with getting a job. If your credit is anything less than stellar, you may need to ask yourself, is it time to fix my credit? In this discussion, we're going to give you 5 of the best ways to fix your credit, maybe even a 6th. First off, get a copy of your credit report. Cleanall3.com, cleanall3.com. That is a true FICO mortgage credit report. FICO does have many, many types of credit reports. Cleanall3.com gets you one. Address any errors on your credit reports. Protect and nurture your credit history. Keep your credit utilization low. We'll talk about it more in depth. Protect your older credit accounts. The good news is that there are things you can do to fix your credit. The bad news is it does not happen overnight. But if you keep working at it, you can repair your credit score and improve your financial options, like applying for a new apartment, car loan, or credit card, and probably save yourself on interest in the long term. First off, get a copy of your credit report. First step to repairing your credit is to request a copy of your credit report. After all, it can be impossible to repair your credit if you don't know what's wrong with it. Fortunately, with 3 major credit agencies, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, will give you a free copy of your report. Does not give you scores. It'll give you the report. While the Fair Credit Reporting Act entitles you to 1 free copy of your credit report each year, these agencies agreed to offer free weekly reports during the pandemic and have continued to offer it at the same time of us chatting right now as I'm recording this. While requesting your credit report, it's a great first step. There are some things you won't find in there. Everything may not be included in these reports. For example, credit reports typically don't provide your credit score. Rather, these reports only provide the details such as FICO and VantageScore used to calculate your score. Okay, got to understand what that means. Again, Cleanall3 will give you all of that. So that there's credit.com also has some extra information as well. It tracks 28 FICO scores, 28. Provides credit reports for the 3 major credit bureaus. Again, I like cleanall3.com. Second, fix errors on your credit report. When you receive your report, The first thing you want to do is review it and make sure all the information is correct. Don't send bogus letters to the bureaus telling them this isn't mine if it really is, because they'll find out. What information does a credit report include? Your credit report begins with your basic details: full name, birth date, current address, past addresses, so on and so on. Credit reports should no longer include details about liens and judgments, but bankruptcies do still appear. However, bankruptcies should fall off your credit report after 7 or 10 years, depending upon the type of bankruptcy. Next, you'll see informational breakdown for each line of credit you have. Account age, number of payments made, missed payments, late payments, and other facts are included. Payment history, credit utilization, credit type, account age, and credit inquiries all factor into your credit score. Remember your credit utilization. If you don't understand that, it's simply the amount you owe divided by the credit limit. Paying your credit card the right way, not just paying it off in full, pay it the right way is important. rsrccpayment.com. rsrccpayment.com will show you how to pay your credit card the right way. Again, if you're just paying it off in full, probably not the right way for most people for FICO scoring purposes. How to fix errors on your credit report? If after reviewing your credit report you notice any errors, it's important to take steps to fix these issues. You have two options: fix your credit yourself by contacting credit bureaus online, or by phone or email. I'm going to suggest snail mail is the best. Don't do that online dispute thing. That's just an easy way for them to do nothing. Snail mail, return receipt requested. Work with a credit repair company. I like Blue Water Credit. rsrlinks.com/BWC. They've done a great job for our listeners for many, many years. rsrlinks.com/BWC. Many people take a DIY approach to minor errors. If you've been the victim of identity theft, on the other hand, you'll want to consider a professional helping hand. In either case, document the error thoroughly and file a separate dispute with each applicable credit bureau. Credit bureaus must respond to disputes within 30 to 45 days and correct errors immediately if they are found. So if you report a genuine error, you can potentially see your score change for the better within a month or two, depending upon other factors. Remember, in most instances, the bureaus don't want your score higher because they make more money when your score is lower, my opinion. So what they're going to do is the first round, they're going to just say, we looked at this. We're right. You're wrong. Sorry. That's why the credit repair companies understand how to deal with this. Number 3, start rebuilding your credit history. Once you review your credit report and fix any errors, you can start on the path to rebuilding your credit score. Your payment history is one of the most important factors in your credit report. It accounts for 35% of your overall FICO credit score. If you currently have accurate late payments on your credit report, not much you can do to remove those. Rather, these late payments will typically remain on your report for up to 7 years. What you can do is start making on-time payments. Start by setting a budget that accounts for all your bills. See if there are any budgetary areas you can cut back on. For example, can you cancel one or more online subscriptions to reduce your dining out costs? Paying all your bills, including credit card bills, loans, and utilities on time can start the process of repairing your credit. Another factor that many people overlook is credit mix. While it accounts for only 10% of your FICO score, it's still important. Having the right credit mix lets lenders know you know how to handle many types of credit accounts responsibly. Take a look at your report and identify the various types of accounts you currently have. Ideally, you should try to balance your installment accounts, such as car loans and mortgages, with revolving credit accounts, including credit cards and lines of credit. Be careful not to apply for new accounts too often. Every time you apply for credit, it could result in a hard inquiry on your report. Too many hard inquiries could negatively impact your report, your score, not by a whole lot. It's one thing people know, so it's one thing they watch the most. Doesn't affect your score that much. Number 4, maintain low credit utilization. We talked about that before. Again, try and keep that below 30%. So $1,500 on a $5,000 credit limit is below that 30%. Remember, rsrccpayment.com, rsrccpayment.com. Number 5, review the age of your credit accounts. As you start rebuilding your credit, you may be tempted to close some accounts. While closing a credit card account can eliminate the temptation to spend beyond your limit, it can also impact your credit score by up to 15%. You want the old ones on there with low utilization. That's going to be your best issue. It's going to save you the most money. It's going to, again, get you the best scores. Just throw that out there for you. As always, we ask, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to Josh and Sean for engineering us today. And, of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio, and protect your eyes.
Now I'm only falling apart. There's nothing I can do. A total eclipse of the heart.